From the Chilean town of Valparaiso on the coast, we hit the roads and headed south, and the roads were in excellent condition. Getting used to the bikes, we stopped once in a while just to give ourselves and our legs a little bit of a break. After about 200 kilometers of riding, we stopped in the wine-growing region of Santa Cruz and decided to grab some lunch.
Have a nice trip.
Thank you.
We arrive at Salta de Laja, a small waterfall near the town of Los Angeles in central Chile. Our campground for the night is just a few hundred meters away from these falls. Looks like this street dog has found himself quite the spectacular view for his home. The next day, Tim gets a flat tire by the side of the Chilean highway. Luckily, along come some guys with a little truck and help him load it up to bring it to get repaired. The rest of us just hang out at one of the amazing Chilean gas stations and wait for Tim's repair to be complete. Most of the Chilean gas stations have coffee and snacks and are actually quite decent stopovers. Having already gone about 600 kilometers, the first servicing on our bikes is now due. Arriving at the Honda dealer, however, it looks like I'm alone. None of the other riders have made it. I hang out at the front of the store, waiting to flag them down so that they won't miss me and just drive on by. We're at a small shop in the town of Chilean, which is where we got our servicing done on a previous trip. Lots of cross traffic of all types, but still no sign of them whatsoever. Finally, the rest of the gang appear.
www.
The next day, we reach the wonderful lakeside town of Pucón and spend a night camping there.
Por favor, los papás de los niños.
We are a little nervous because we know the next day we must try to get into Argentina, and that the Chilean border has been a bit difficult lately for a lot of people. But a nice dinner sitting outside with the local street dogs hanging out with you is always a nice way to relax.
Right now, we have to do this. Oh, there we go.
Take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay, now we understand. You're George Burns' heir.
The dogs are so well behaved while everyone is eating around them, it's quite amazing. And they're treated really well by all of the locals. Many of the kids even come up and play with them. The town is partying it up as we walk back to our campground to go to sleep. The next morning on the way to the border, a storm starts brewing and the winds are howling. At the borders in South America, you have to first check out of the country you're in before you can check into the next one. And checking out of Chile is apparently a bit of a problem now, since they don't allow foreigners to leave with vehicles purchased in Chile. At first, it looks like everything's going really well. The first guy stamps passports and makes it look like we can exit. Then problems arise.
What is Chile?
Our Chilean exit rejected, we had to turn around and go back to the town of Pucón. It was pouring rain, so we went to a coffee shop and grabbed some food. With it raining so hard, we settled into a small hostel for the night. The next day, we headed for another Argentina-Chile border crossing. One of the Chilean-Argentina frontier border crossings. This one is quite remote, and you have to take a 2-hour-long ferry over a lake to even reach it. The ferry was packed with a bunch of school kids from the Argentinian town of Bariloche who are away on a field trip and were now returning. At our second border crossing attempt, the first guy stamps my passport. That's the international police. On to the aduana, the customs. These are the people who decide whether or not the vehicle is acceptable to be able to leave the country. Woohoo! He stamps my passport. Looks like I'm going to be able to leave.
That of me? Okay. Gracias.
At the Argentinian side, everything goes well until we realize Ed doesn't have his reciprocity fee, and you can't buy it at the border. Cash goes back to the Chilean side with Ed, and they borrow the Chilean internet so that they can purchase the fee. However, upon return, Cash now gets rejected because he doesn't have new paperwork to replace the paperwork from 10 minutes ago. Finally, after about 2 hours of messing around at the border, everything is solved and we're all on our way into Argentina. Getting late, we spend the night in the town of San Martín de los Andes before hitting the road for Bariloche. It's a beautiful road throughout the Argentinian lakes region. Arriving in the city, we finally got a chance to buy Argentinian motorcycle insurance, which we didn't have for the first little bit. We also got a chance to check and add oil to all of the motorcycles and lube the chains. Very important to keep these little guys in the best condition we can. We spend a little bit of time also touring some of the cool buildings and nice scenery that Bariloche has to offer. In the evening, we head out for a steak dinner.
Cinco.
Aguarden afuera. Después yo lo llamo cuando se suben a mesa.
Mounds of potatoes and huge slabs of meat arrive.
Poquito de español.
Amigo. What, you eat the whole animal?
As usual, the dogs get our leftovers. The following morning, we hit the road and continue on our way south.